block. Okay. So I see what we're dealing with here. It's going down. Sun Team Jam. Let's get it going, man. If you missed the team building video, definitely go check that out. This is about to be insane, as they tend to be. Now, we are getting higher up in the ladder. What are we at now? Okay, 16, 13. So we're almost at the 1700s. Coming all the way from the bottom. So we've gained almost 500 points. Now, that means, because our teams are still pretty wacky, we're still in the testing phase of this first team, because it's the first battle, right? Team's never done until you actually play with it. So that means we're in store for a wild party. That's my guy's point. 1602. Whew. What to expect from this? I actually wish I had Will-O-Wisp, but at the same time, I'm kind of okay with it. SCOVILAIN is handsome as hell in this game. Can sweep every mon on this team. It just needs some value from the, like, SCOVILAIN in an outright can just destroy his team without any boost. Sandy Shocks, I need Tinglu bodied, but after that, it actually goes quite hard. Tusk, Bulk Up Tusk is good, just outright. I think Bulk Up Tusk could sweep my opponent if I force him to play foolishly with the Rotom, as does Dragonite with the same condition. But this is not going to be an easy game, because he has a lot of tools that can put a stop to a lot of my my big boys, and he has a Cinderace. So what do I do? I'm actually quite Rotom weak. It just dawned on me. Okay, so phase one's going to involve, okay, so he's 3,000% staying in, which is what I want. I want this Tinglu gone. Well, not gone, but you know, I want it. Oh, what? Ain't no way, bros. Now that does help my Sandy Shock, and it hurts my SCOVILAIN. So that's now okay. There are two upsides to that. It does mean his Dragonite. I know it's Terra type now, so Rotom can't counter my Dragonite anymore, because Terra Ghost is what Rotom would use to counter. So I don't have any more surprises, meaning my win con has changed from focusing on SCOVILAIN to focusing on Dragonite. So that being said, we're gonna go to Great Tusk here. Ruination makes a lot of sense. This is lower ladder, so there's a 3,000% chance bro is going to a Balloon Goldango here, or a Rotom Wash, both of which I'm perfectly fine with. More so Rotom Wash. He leaves the Tinglu in, which could have been EQ'd to EQ me back. Now the logic on this, non-existent, but knockoff is always our player, not because we're trying to make predictions, but we're trying to do the okay, so it was Choice Scarf and we knocked that off. That's a big deal. Which that was a horrible play, by the way. You're a poison type Tinglu. I could have just EQ'd you and you go hard Goldango and sack. But as I said so many times on the channel, with this range of the ladder, you're gonna find that people play on gut, right? Okay, I think he's gonna do this, so I'm gonna do this. Now, one big downside is that my Great Tusk got Ruination, but I didn't have a choice because he terra'd. Why is that a big deal? Because Great Tusk was a fairly solid win condition as well. Now, it's far from over, right? It's far from over, but now that I know his Goldango set, my Toxapex is actually a huge issue for him. Huge issue. And I can't get Spadef drops because of Covert Cloak. So his Recover means it's not Nasty Plot. This is still an issue, but I'll just go to my Sandy Shocks on a turn that he goes for, because his other move is going to be Trick most likely. So his Shadow Balls, as I said. Now I guess I could have played around. He's going to Shadow Ball this turn, fishing for the crit. I'll recover, then go to Sandy Shocks on the. Oh, he recovered that turn. Okay. This is fine. As I said, no Spadef drop chance, and I'm doing 24%, which isn't bad. He does have quite a bit of Shadow Balls. And Pex is too important to lose to a crit. So I gotta just be patient here. Okay, so now he goes for the recover as I get shocks in, which is phenomenal. Oh, he actually shot a balls. Isn't bad as I get to spike. The spike matters because since his Cinderace can court change, I actually don't know what his initial switch to this would even be. Figured Wash might be it, but the beauty of this is I get to Volt switch out, and Wash is one of those things that I don't want my Sandy Shocks gone, but I also don't want the damage on Wash. So now the only condition I need met, I need to find out what his Excalibur is. And I need this Rotom weakened a little bit more. And I need the Great Tusk weakened. I guess I need quite a few things done. But not kinda not really. I'll show you what I mean. Because I think SCOVILAIN can do it. Unless this is fucking Scarf. But I figured not. As this, now he's forced to Hydro Pump. SCOVILAIN takes a neutral hit from that. And then he can go to Tinglu and I'll get pretty much no value out of it. So, I'm in a little bit of a bind, but you know we'll maneuver. So here he should every time go for Volt Switch into protects. That's the worst possible play, especially if you Will-O-Wisp. I've shown you Toxic. I'm always gonna Toxic, not because you know it's like okay, well he's gonna go Goldengo or Tinglu, yeah. But it's not about the prediction at this point. As I said multiple times, the biggest flaw players make is trying to predict every time. I've removed the Tinglu's item, which was strategic because I needed to be in range of, well, I have to Tusk now, but I mean, I didn't have to, but I don't get to it. Actually, I do get to it. EQ. So he leaves I actually might not get to it kill. It does kill. We get rid of the spike. I didn't expect him to stay in there, but I don't regret. I don't regret rapid spitting because, as I said before, it's a situation where we're setting up for Dragonite 3000%. How do I want to go about this? There are a couple ways I could do this next turn. Rotom, I need rocks. My Dragonite could also set up on the Great Tusk, depending on what the set is. But the thing I'm concerned about, if I Terra my this, which is what I'd need to one-shot Cinderace, I need more information on its team. But if he went Rotom there, it would be too big of a drawback. So what I'll do is go Sandy Shocks here. He'll go for EQ. I could Volt Switch in a D-Knight. I should do at least 15%. Still don't know how much Earthquake's gonna do. I don't need my multi-scale to win, but obviously I'd like to have it if I can. So I'm gonna Volt Switch here, do 14. He's gonna EQ as I go D-Knight. Let me see how much this. Let me run this calc. If it kills him, then this was the correct play. I just don't know. And this is, yeah, Rise might have some defense EVs on his Tinglu for some reason. What's funny also is that if I was standard D-Knight with Roost, I could set up and sweep him here. Dragonite. Oh, you bulky Dragonite. As long as it's max attack. Tinglu poison, man. Oh, actually, this shit is like the standard set apparently. Earthquake does not kill. So pivot back to Shax on the Ruination. He Whirlwinds for some godforsaken reason. That's like horrible for me. Oh, I could have. Oh, what the fuck was he doing? Why did he Earthquake there? I mean, why did he Whirlwind? He has Ruination, so he could just go for. If I Dragon Dance, like Whirlwind didn't make sense. But we'll make do. But yeah, him being Terra Poison is awful for us. I lost a lot of mileage there just now. What to do? What to do? Okay, I'm gonna go back to the end. It's gonna spike or fucking urination. Okay, that also like I can't get around this, so I'll just that's actually best case scenario. That's actually best case scenario. I don't want Cinderace in on my Tinglu can get right. Let me think this through. If I Thunderbolt, I'm staring down Cinderace / Baxcalibur. Actually, don't want to be in versus Baxcalibur. So if I get Sun Up now, potentially staring down Great Tusk, which isn't a bad thing because I want the Great Tusk on. I'll trade my. Do I trade my? Yeah, Great Tusk is an awful play for him here. But I need my Terrestrialization so that I can one-shot Cinderace. But I knew he'd go Great Tusk. I wish I had Wisp. If I can get the burn, he Rapid Spin. That's a horrible play. Thank God. Give me the burn. Oh my goodness. Horrendous decision there by the opponent. Truth be told. Truth be told. Because that just opens up my Dragonite tremendously. So my options would be Rocks. Don't want him knocking off my Heat Rock though. What would be the play? On the off chance he's not. He Stealth Rocks. Okay. He's gonna spin again. Okay. I'm wasting Sun. What to do? I need this Sun Up so that he can't go Rotom. I know he's gonna Rocks, but I have to deal with those. He can't even stop me from spinning the next turn, which is funny. Unless he goes Goldengo, which obviously would die. And, you know, I'm probably being overly cautious around the Baxcalibur, truth be told. Because at this point, Scovalain, like if he goes Bax, I just yawn. Scovalain should be able to, but he has Protect and shit, you know. And I have 3 turns of Sun, so it goes Goldengo. That's what I'm talking about. Like Goldengo dies, but I can't Rapid Spin. So if I kill the Goldengo, what does that support for me? It means that he loses to my Toxapex potentially. But it does mean that my Sun turns are gone pretty much permanently. So because Shadow Ball will do enough, I'm pretty sure. Because he's max special attack. Shadow Ball would do enough. So I need to go Sandy Shock. Well, not go Sandy Shocks. I could sack Sandy Shocks. Go Scovalain. Flamethrower. My problem with Flamethrower without me having Rocks up is that if his Baxcalibur is not heavy duty boots. What to do here? What to do here? I can't give up my Sun. That's not an option. Give up Goldengo then. What to do? I'm gonna have to give up Shocks and get the free switch into Scovy. If he goes, I didn't know Scovalain was weak to Rocks. I knew that, like if you were like, oh well, what the type is, it's weak to Rocks, but I never processed the fact that it was weak to Rocks. Like it didn't strike me until just now. So likely he'll go into Cinderace. Cinderace can take any one hit. It's really going to come down to what his Baxcalibur is. If it's some kind of subset, Baxcalibur is one of those bonds that is mid, but it's like a low ladder favorite, you know. And so because of that, I know people like to do all kinds of gimmicks with that mon. And I'm just not confident in what I have left. Like obviously if Bax comes in here, if it's banded Bax, I think banded Baxes would be the only thing that could kill SCOVILAIN with Ice Shard from there. Baxcalibur, OU offensive, SCOVILAIN, OU Sunsweeper, timid. If it's timid, why is it so? Oh yeah, because why is it so slow if it's timid? Timid, non-max speed, insane. Life Orb, Sunbeam, Terra Blast, Rock, Terra Blast, Rock, one shots Bax. So it goes Cinderace. This dies. Cinderace wasn't that relevant, so I'm not too concerned about that. Now it does force Baxcalibur in, and Baxcalibur has to go for I guess it just depends on what the Baxcalibur is, truthfully. If it's some kind of sub shit, then because what my issue would be, it is what it is. I mean, Bax is, funnily enough, he forfeited. Why'd he forfeit? Bro, that was mad anticlimactic. But he had a Bax is a problem. He'll never hear this anywhere else. But as I said in the team builder, Sun oftentimes will not have the defensive prowess required to weather the storm, because most of the mons, like half of my team, can't really switch into anything ever. And so Bax, and maybe Bax is, since Xianpao's gone, maybe people are experimenting with Bax and it can have a place in the metagame. Who's to say, right? But I know there certainly versus my structural team, my team structure, Great Tusk was supposed to be the support mon versus Bax. Torkoal boosts Bax's attack, so man, the fucking Terra Rock was clutch as hell there. Wish I had more Sun turns, and that's on me for not just, I should have known he's just gonna mindlessly spam the rocks. It was a pretty big burn on his Tusk, but we wanted Tusk to come in on the D Knight. Had we just EQ'd the Tinglu several times, this wouldn't have been as hard of a game. However, when you manage the risk versus reward, him going Rotom versus him staying on Tinglu, I mean on the EQ, if he went Rotom, we lose a lot of value. If he stays in with the Tinglu, we can still win. If he goes to Rotom and we EQ, yeah, we can win, but it's just a very hard game from there. So that's why I was hazarding and spinning and prioritizing that. So if he stays in, so be it. We can still pull through, though it's still tricky. But he had a very good matchup versus this team. So anticlimactic, but we'll move on. D Knight's handsome as hell in this game. Garganical is not handsome. He has a Ditto, which he has like, what's up with these low ladder counter teams, bro? Like he has Gastrodon shuts down my Sandy Shocks. If it's Spadef. He has Ditto, it shuts down my sweepers. Yeah, how do I fuck this guy up? I mean, like, truthfully. But, you know, on the upside, he can't really muscle past my pecs either, but it's gonna be a grind this game. It's gonna be a grind. But I think I have the long-term thinking to outplay him. Hazards plus Sandy Shock's ground, I think, will destroy my opponent. I just got to be mindful. And SCOVILAIN on Terra actually is quite good. Gross SCOVILAIN on Terra is actually quite good. So phase 1 to counteract my Sun. So I'm going to SCOVILAIN lead, which sounds crazy. It's like, Jam, what are you doing? What's going on? Garganical would have to Terra here if he has something for it. So I'd assume Terra. If not, we just Giga Drain. It says Terra Dragon. Very interesting. I was like, it's probably gonna Terra Fairy. The Salkir. Oh right, Salkir is super. I keep forgetting this shit is weak to rock. Terra Dragon. Very interesting. That's probably the worst case for me, especially if it has EQ. But I've, you know, as I said, from a matchup standpoint, this is going to be rough. Now, the good thing is that Giga Drain did a ton. I should not have stayed in there. I should have went hard picks. I was thinking he'd protect. I'd bluff, go pecs. But I keep forgetting I'm weak to rock. So I took super effective. Like, this was a horrendous decision by me. I'll have to work to get my health back. He has EQ too. Yeah, I don't know if I can win this game. This low ladder stuff. Oh, Salkir. What else would it be? I mean, could it be Curse? It can't be Curse based on how much you took from the. There's always a way, though. There's always a way, but I wouldn't say we can't win. It's going to be very difficult to win. That's what I'll say. So we'll surf here. EQ is not a 2 kill. Block. Okay. So I see what we're dealing with here. Okay, block, EQ, curse, and then I'm guessing recover. I could Terra, which would stall out all of his moves. Salkir. So Salkir is doing 11%. EQ would do 15, and he'd recover. And then I'd haze spam. Do I want to use my Terra? Do I need my Terra for anything else? I may need the Terra ground on it's a speed tie. I may need the Terra ground. I can stall out his earthquakes. After that, recover is all. Why waste use my Terra? I want my Terra ground. Earthquakes 155. Salkir. Gotta think this through. Do I need Terra ground? It's probably too late now, though. Thank you. So I'm gonna Terra the picks. No, I'm not gonna Terra it. I'm not gonna Terra it. It might be a mistake. If I was gonna Terra, I should have Terra'd earlier. He won that tie. I'm winning the relevant ones. I know it's set now. I wasted too many recovers to Terra. I mean, I could have stalled, but earthquake, recover. Has 6 EQs left. Wins that tie. Pex wins the, so I lost that tie. So he managed to knock me out. Yeah, this is gonna be a doozy of an end game, but I think Tusk can pull it through because he already Terra'd. I think Tusk can do it. So phase 1 is gonna be remove this shit's item. I'm gonna have to sack a lot of my team. Tusk's gonna have to lose his item here. He blocked. This guy isn't the sharpest tool in the shed. I did nothing, but yeah, this is not a situation you come out on top in. I guess he figured that out, but iron defense. Okay. So I know it's looking grim, bros, but you gotta have faith in your boy Jamster. Because he has no hazard control, I just realized. It literally just dawned on me that he has no hazard control. Well, yes, Corviknight. What am I saying? It's Iron Defense Corviknight, though. Screen Tail actually gets benefited from my son. He's Iron Defense Corviknight, which is like a worst case scenario for my Tusk. So I have to. I'm glad I didn't Terra. I have to beat his team with my Sandy Shocks. So I'm gonna give up. I'm gonna give up SCOVILAIN. It's like Sandy Shocks is unguardable. Oh, it's a very close to a KO. I might to a KO him. Got that ass, boy! Come here! Come here now! That was a big deal just now. That was a big deal. That was a big deal. Now, it's far from over, but I just got his hazard control. And my Sandy Shocks is still sashed. Oh, man, that was a big deal just now. Ice Beam. Where did these guys come from, bro? It's like, oh, God. Like, now, my fucking Tusk is gorgeous here. Man, I want to go back to my shock so bad here. He stays in. What is he going for? Stealth Rocks. Ice Beam, Stealth. Okay. Yeah, I can't have this getting Ice Beamed. I have Yawn, which is going to be the key. Yeah, now I get Shocks in. She didn't want. Bodied. Come here. Boy, come here. Now, I'm still in a bind. Because Ice Beam still did a decent amount to my Torkoal. It does 19%. I need the sun gone. Protects. Now he can go for the freeze. Yeah, so now he goes to Garganical. Now, if I had the Terra, man. Ice Beam, Stealth Rock. So he's Wish Protect. So if I double back to Sandy Shocks, this thing is damn near max Spadef. Like, what's the worst? What's the worst? Him going to Garg and being able to Salt Cure. Yeah. How would I win this game? Yeah, I know the Garg's coming, but the Garg's getting beat down. It's getting beat the fuck down. So what I'm gonna end up doing is Tusk first on the Garg to take the initial round of Salt Cure. Tusk is really important, but I know he's likely gonna go for Recover. He actually EQ'd. I didn't expect EQ. That actually works out for me though. Because if I Earth Power and he goes to, because I'm a Spike here. Yeah, if I Earth Power and he doesn't go to Screen Tail, he's in a bind. Now Screen Tail I think has horrible defense, so my Great Tusk can potentially put this thing in the fucking ground. Ice Beam is not a 2 KO. Yeah, it's gonna be super fucking close, man. He goes for this is good. I'm really hoping he doesn't go hard Garg. If he goes hard, I play still to Rapid Spin straight up because I wanted to yawn that turn, and then Rapid Spin on the turn he was Garg. So he made I think a pretty decent mistake here, because now you have to go out. Yeah. Let me think. If I Volt Switch on the Screen Tail, Screen Tail is gonna come in and take next to nothing. What if he mindlessly sacks the Pex? He does. It doesn't kill, which is what I was afraid of. So my play there was to kill him. It wasn't, though. That was a very shit play on his part. You should never sack Pex here. It's just not necessary yet. So he's playing like he's already lost the game and he's in the bag and he's like struggling and whatnot, but that's not the case at all. Fuck. Okay. Because he's gonna Toxic, which I know is coming. Now this means he has to leave the like D-Knight is a bitch. So Garganacl comes in. I gotta go hard Sandy. Would I get one more turn of Sun? Yeah. And now I gotta get him to stay in. Screen Tail took 33%. I actually took a lot from that. I wonder if I'm faster. I am. Bet. Wish, yeah. Obvious Protect. You gotta protect. I'm faster, which is really important information. Problem is he can Ice Beam. And none of my 2 mons outspeed or beat the Ice Beam. And I gotta have this for Garg. Shit. Earth Power. I wonder how much Ice Beam does though. Let's see. It probably isn't even a 2K. I wishes. I wish I went D-Knight that turn, truth be told, but if say I Dragonite. I gotta give up Tusk. Okay, fair enough. I guess it's gonna come down to how bulky is this thing. Can it take actually Ice Beam is not that. I might live to, what would be the play? Spin first. Or get rid of the hazards. Oh, I lived. I did nothing. So here, I was gonna say here I see knock. If I spin first, spin into knock. He wishes, then I knock. Yeah, it's actually better to knock the second turn. Yeah. %. I actually don't die from this Ice Beam. Ice Beam does 60 to me, which is pretty funny, truth be told. He goes hard Garg. Which might be a throw. I don't think his extreme speed can well, it's not a throw because I can't kill him. So he's just gonna Salt Cure here. So I actually have to switch out. Yeah, but that allows for me to Earth Power KO him. And his Sandy Shocks can't, his Screen Tails can't come in. So it goes Screen Tail. Fuck. That particular Garg set. So this, as I've said several times, one of the best ways, and one of the toughest things are gimmicks. At this part of the ladder, right? It's a gimmicky. I'm trying to think what could, like, what would I need my opponent to do? I need him to Ice Beam here and me to crit with EQ. There's no reason not to protect, or you risk the dying to the crit. Oh, he's faster, right? Of course. Yeah, EQ's not gonna do shit. Yeah. So he obviously wins with the Ditto, even if I were to crit with the Earth Power. And it's funny, him having Ice Beam in particular was a big well, I guess I could have been T-bolting and power fishing, but yeah, so that's game because the Ditto outspeeds with the choice calc. But now that was actually one of the more challenging games. It reminds me of the one that I lost with versus when I was using the Rain team. So oftentimes, as I said, you're gonna run into what I consider put in the category of gimmicks like that, where it's a very random, tailored to best of one type sets. Because if I play that guy again, obviously it'll be a very different game because I'm not going to be thrown off by the block guard and all the things, right? But I'm actually really proud of how I played that. I played SCOVILAIN horrendously, so that obviously put me in a bad spot early. Spadef Screen Tail is like the worst case scenario, and then blocking my Pexin, it was just a nightmare of a situation. So kudos to the opponent. I'm gonna grab another one to round it out. And I kind of wish I faced some standard teams, truth be told. The win or the loss is irrelevant. The reason I say that is because it doesn't, when I lose to teams like those, the only losses I've had are versus teams like those, and it doesn't give me a lot of data to edit the team with. And since I only use each team twice, I'm not really getting good data. I'm facing gimmicks, but I knew that was going to be the part of the ladder, and so it's kind of like but I say that because I know you guys are like, well, I want to see the edit parts, but it's like, what fucking block Terra Dragon Guard, like how do you edit for that? That's a 1 in 50 million games, so it's just not worth editing the team around for. Now this is a little more standard, but even this isn't, you know, and we'll see. Maybe there's something on this that will throw me for a loop. But looking at this currently, SCOVILAIN is pretty devastating. Sandy Shocks is devastating under the sun. Though it's hard to get a one-hit KO with it though. It's like from a neutral, no ground resist standpoint, yes, but it's very hard to get a one-hit KO. And if he's, we talked about this in the team building video, Life Orb Chomp will give me a lot of trouble from just a pure matchup perspective. Like I don't have anything for that. So we're gonna have to be really nifty. From a matchup standpoint, he has the advantage. Baxcalibur, potential chain chomp, Hatterene, funnily enough, destroys me because the only fair resist I have is Toxapex, and I don't need to explain why that's not sufficient. Skeledirge, we'll see. I don't think he'll be high ladder Skeledirge, so I'm not, which is sub Terra Water, so I'm not too concerned about that. Yeah, I think I can do some work. It'll just take some work. And so phase 1, I want to give up my Sun. SCOVILAIN's too important to give the Sun up versus Chomp turn 1. What the fuck am I going to do versus this Garchomp? It's really the question here. Can't give Tusk up. Might have to sack my D-Knight turn 1 to get rid of the Chomp. But if he's not the Chomp I expect, then I just look like a fool. So, you know, it's like, Jam, why are you leading Dragonite versus Garchomp? It's my only solution here. I don't need the Chomp dead. I just need, like, if I was Roost D-Knight, perhaps. But this is one situation I can think of where, okay, we could have. This is interesting, right? Like, he switched his Chomp out on my D-Knight, meaning he feared dying. He switched Amoonguss in, though. I don't know if he was fearing the Ice move. I mean, he couldn't have been if Amoonguss is you're switching. I don't know why you'd go Amoonguss when you have a Skeledirge if you're fearing like the Ice move, which is the only thing other than maybe Draco that could kill your D-Knight. I mean, your Garchomp. So the fact that he did this does open up the opportunity for SCOVILAIN to come inside because he's likely going to Spore. I am immune. So this is actually not a bad position anymore. It's actually quite decent. So we're going to use Giga Drain first. The reason is that we're trying to bait Skeledirge. Skeledirge gone kind of opens up Dragonite, but if Giga Drain did 17%, because what I'm thinking is if I Terra 1, I can't switch into Spore anymore. If the Skeledirge isn't, if I Terra Rock, I may kill this. He fire moves, I eat it. I lose a lot of health. I give up my Terra. And my Terra Water would be really good for later. If I go Toxapex, I'm staring back down a Mungus, which I have no solution for. Yeah, this is going to be a rough game, man. We don't KO, but he's going to be low enough to where he sacks. I'm sure. Giga Drain here. I actually really wish that killed. I don't know if Skeledirge is one of those mons that runs so many different roles. Now, it does open up a potential for Dragonite, but again, guys, this is looking rough for me, man. Not my ideal situation, especially with backs. Like, this could ice move, this could ground move. But I have to use these 3 mons. So with Torkoal, Great Tusk, and SCOVILAIN. So I'm not sure what edits I'd be able to make. To patch this up. Or could maybe Corvi? Corvi doesn't really fix it either. We see in the last game if I had a Corviknight, I would have won if I had bulk up Corv. What to do? Alright, mid-ground Pex. If he EQs, I can Terra Dragon Galvarush. That is horrible for us. Like, so it's Banded Galvarush. Now I know he Terra'd, which is upside. Pex is just okay. I have nothing to switch into this. If I lose this, so Galvarush. Oh boy. So we're gonna Sandy Shocks here. I know Galvarush doubles the damage. It goes hard Chomp, which I'm really grateful for. Because Chomp offensively is a huge issue. Now, this does mean that I lose my Sash because he's gonna EQ. I mean, what the fuck am I supposed to do, y'all? Like, really, I'm waiting on this room to go Hatterene and put an end to my suffering. But upside is that he may go for Ice Shard here. Because he Terra Dragoned, I actually can't even kill him. Torkoal, yeah, Shard. Whew. Okay, there's hope. Let's see if I pivot back to, pivot back to SCOVILAIN here. If he double Ice Shards, he's just a king amongst men. What I want is offensive positioning versus Hatterene. Even if he Ice Shard, SCOVILAIN wouldn't die, but it would be pretty close. And then I can pivot again. But Hatterene, I was about to say, okay. Offensive positioning versus Hatterene. Flamethrower in the sun is going to hurt with Life Orb. It won't KO, but it's going to hurt. Green Kiss probably does a bit. Okay, dude lost his goddamn mind. You've lost your motherfucking mind. So Terra Blast is free on the off chance he randomly goes to... I don't know why he did that. The Excalibur, he's not Ice Sharding here. Either way, it doesn't truly matter. It does. But he's not Ice Sharding. Yeah. So we get a little bit of damage off EQs. So all of a sudden, this is looking winnable. Still kind of not, because he still has Latusk. But depending on what his Among-Us's last moves are, Torkoal can do some work here. So EQs, I'm going to use the photosynthesis from the sun. I might 2 KO Among-Us because it's sun boosted and it's equivalent of specs. It might be a roll. What else am I going to do other than go for it? right? So offensive positioning managed to get us in a situation where we could win. Insane. He has the Ice Shard here, but I get to set up back the Sun and burn his Great Tusk. The question is then, that leaves me Galv Rushable. Like, he could crit my entire team with Galv Rush. So what do I want to do here? I'd prefer to keep... Dragonite loses to both. I'd prefer to keep... He doubles the Great Tusk. Which was a risk if there ever was one. So we're having bulk up offs. Let's see who's faster. I'm faster, which is great. That's a big deal. We're having bulk up offs. Me being faster is a big deal here. I essentially neutralized all of his threat. Yeah. Because we rapid spin back. Yeah, we bulk up back. Yeah, that speed creep, baby. Oh no, we're not doing that, bro. We're not doing that. He's going for the crit, as he should. I'm gonna copy you. Oh, I got it first. That's what he was fishing for anyway. So, and then obviously he has the Ice Shard lock. But that's gonna be our last game. As I said, you know, there's nothing I'm gonna be able to do about the like, if I'm gonna use stuff like SCOVILAIN and Sandy Shock's actually legit, but SCOVILAIN is gonna leave me a bit raw. You know, like I don't have. It requires so much support because you have to use essentially 2 mons that are, even though Torkoal put in work in this game, we have to use 2 mons that are essentially garbage, which are Torkoal and SCOVILAIN, which takes up 2 whole slots, and then Sandy Shock's on top of it. Even though I'm enjoying using the team, I actually really enjoyed having to figure out how to get around that guy's Screamtail. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I'm not going to change the team. This is going to be the team we're going to use tomorrow too. It is what it is. We're going to have weaknesses and we just got to outplay. As simple as that. We knew what we were getting into when we were going to do the team building with the sort of gimmicky stuff. And that's just what you get. You're not, by definition, you're using heat. You're not going to have the perfect matchup all the time. And so it is what it is. I really enjoyed the games today. Hopefully y'all did. If you did, hit the like button down below. Round 2 SCOVILAIN tomorrow. If you have any suggestions of something that could patch this up, that wouldn't change the structure too much, let me know. But yeah, see you in the next one. Peace.